Hello everyone, back tuning in to today's first video, doing the May month-end forecast for today's first video. We're going to have a look at CFS V2 and Beijing Climate Centre long-range models, see what they're both showing for the month of May. We'll have a review on April's forecast at the end. We'll have a sneak peek for June. Just to say about the same video today, we'll have a look at whether next week's 10 days still looks mostly set there over Bank Holiday weekend. And talking of the Bank Holiday weekend, we're going to have the final 7th and final update for the May Day Bank Holiday weekend. That will be coming up for you this evening. So we've got 3 updates to do. The computer's still running very, very slowly. So it's going to be really interesting to see how I'm going to get these updates done for you, but I will endeavour to try and bring them to you. If there's a delay on the webcam as you're looking at it as I'm speaking, sorry about that, purely because there's a lag going on due to the fact that over the past week my computer has been running very slowly. I'm not too sure what the problem is. I'm hoping that it'll resolve itself, but beginning to think I'm probably going to have to get an expert out to have a bit of a look at it and see what's gone wrong. So I'll keep you updated on that. We'll begin though by having a review of April's forecast. So the GWV's April forecast was predicting that we would have a average temperature, although it wasn't ruling out the chance of a warmer than average month, but we thought temperatures probably coming out close to average overall, warmer than March. Precipitation was going for another wetter than average month. So if you have a look at the climate averages page from the UK Met Office, this is the mean temperature anomaly set against 81 to 2010. We find that Scotland is coming out close to average, but much of England and Wales comes out with a warmer than average month set against 81 to 2010 by about a degree or so warmer than average. So I suppose the GWV's April forecast was a little bit too cool, but we did say it wasn't ruling out the chance of a warmer than average month. So I suppose we did underestimate temperature a little bit, but certainly a warmer than average month was not by any means ruled out on the patterns we was looking at for April. As far as precipitation goes, generally away from northern Scotland, most places did have a wetter than average month, so the precipitation side of things worked out quite well. It was more on the temperature, but we just underestimated that temperature a little bit. But overall, I don't think the forecast was too bad. And of course, that follows on from March, which was a pretty decent forecast as well. So getting on with May, we find that the 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2 looks like this. We've got below average heights up to our north and above average heights in the central part of the Atlantic. Also a trough of below average heights to our south, an area of above average heights over towards Scandinavia. So it's a rather odd looking chart with the flow and the jet going something rather like that. It looks like it's a mixed month, to say the least, because low pressure isn't too far away from the country. But we also imply that we probably extend a bit of a ridge from the Atlantic up to Scandinavia at times as well. Temperature anomalies looking like that. So again, quite weak signals for the temperature anomalies, if anything. Eastern parts of Europe are coming out substantially warmer than average, as is Northern Europe too. Western parts of Europe are coming out average to a little bit cooler than average, especially down across Spain and Portugal. Remember, those are anomalies to average though, so it would still be pretty warm even across Spain and Portugal. But for the UK, the temperature anomaly is just close to average, really. In terms of precipitation anomalies, we're coming out drier than average, so it looked like we hadn't got low pressure. It looked like we got low pressure quite close to us. It looked like low pressure wasn't going to be too far away from us, but actually it turns out that we're coming out with a rather drier than average precipitation anomaly for the UK, for Ireland and for France as well. The only thing I can think is that we had got that ridge up over Scandinavia. There was a ridge also out there somewhere, and I assume the two ridges must be forming, or two areas of high pressure must be forming a ridge rather like that, and that's what's bringing us out with a drier than average. So average temperatures to maybe hinting at being a bit cooler than average, with a with below average, drier than average precipitation anomalies. What the CFS V2 is predicting. for May 2018. We'll go through to Beijing Climate Center next. These are the 500 millibar height anomalies from the Beijing Climate Center. These are broken down into 10-day periods. The first 10-day period taking us from the 1st through to the 10th of May, with below average heights up to the north and the northwest, above average heights out in the middle of the Atlantic. The flow and the jet is going rather like that. So it looks pretty changeable and quite cool for the first 10 days. I'm not sure how that stacks up with the fact that we're going to be getting above average heights building in from the Azores high through sort of like the next few days. Certainly over Bank Holiday weekend we're going to have the Azores high dominating. And then we go through into the next 10-day period, taking us from the 11th through to the 20th of May, with above average heights in the Atlantic, and then building into the UK, which starts to send the jet stream to the north. So that looks like it should be a much more settled 10-day period through the middle part of May, with quite a bit of anticyclonic weather going on. And then we go through to the final 10-day period of May. This one takes us from the 21st through to the 30th of May, and we get below average heights then setting up out to our west. Weak heights over the UK and over central parts of Europe as well. So that one again is looking quite strange. The flow and the jet is doing something like that. I suspect that one's turning more unsettled from the 21st May through to the 30th, turning rather more changeable and rather more unsettled. The overall 30-day 500 millibar height anomaly from the Beijing Climate Center looks like that, with below average heights up to the north and above average heights in the Atlantic. Also, we've got above average heights over Scandinavia. And we bring the flow in like that, and also in some degree like that as well. So that means the temperature anomaly for May is coming out a little bit cooler than average, slightly below average temperature anomalies. And as far as precipitation anomalies are concerned for May, and in contrast what CFS is showing, we're actually coming out with above average precipitation. So both models are going for average to cooler than average temperatures, but they are also going for above average precipitation. So it's quite a challenging month, this, quite a difficult month to forecast. And we see that we are in for quite a changeable pattern overall. But then the CFS is coming out with a drier than average precipitation anomaly. So it is very difficult to predict what's going to happen. I'm going to go for a warmer than average May. You're going to have to guess, because I don't think the model guidance is particularly useful this month. This does often happen in May. May is just about the hardest month of all the 12 months of the year to forecast, because the overall drivers of the weather tend to be at their weakest. The Atlantic tends to be at its weakest as well. So all in all, May just about comes out as the hardest month to forecast. It means the model guidance isn't much of a guidance for this month, and I'm just going to have to guess what I think is likely to happen. So I'm going to go for a warmer than average month in May. Probably not the sort of deviation that we had in April, but I wouldn't totally rule it out. But it could be another substantially warmer than average month. But I certainly think temperature anomalies are likely to come out around a degree above average, so another pretty warm month. And precipitation is very, very challenging indeed, because we've got the Beijing Climate Center going slightly wetter than average, but the CFS is going rather drier than average. I think we'll have a drier month myself. I think the Azores high is going to be quite ridgy this month. So I'd suggest, with low confidence, we're likely to have a slightly warmer than average month by perhaps as much as a degree warmer than average. And as far as precipitation is concerned, I suspect that's going to be coming in closer to average, maybe even a little bit on the drier than average side. And that would be particularly for the south and west, where we're closest to that Azores high. For the north, I suspect you might have above average precipitation going on up there. Finally, we'll just see if we can get through to the June 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2. Been pushing my luck a little bit with this video, but there we go. We have gone through to the June 700 millibar height anomaly, and not very much to go on there either. So we find we've got a bit of an area of above average heights up over Scandinavia, but otherwise there's not much to go on for June. So June perhaps as much as a puzzle as May is going to be. So I think we'll leave June alone, concentrate on May. We're going for a warmer than average month in May, probably not as big a deviation as we had in April, but still coming out with above average temperatures during May. And so far as precipitation concerned, I think we'll have a drier month, especially in the south and west where we're closest to Bad Azores Ridge. So a drier month, unsettled at times, particularly in the north, probably coming out a bit drier than average down in the south. And that's the May 2018 month-ahead forecast. Later on this afternoon, we'll have a look at the weather for next week, 10 days, and then this evening we're going to have the seventh and final May Day bank holiday weekend. So come back for all of the updates through the course of today. As long as I can get the recordings done, you'll be able to see those videos. Right, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.